Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this tutorial we are merging two different concepts together. The first concept comes from the journal making world and is basically this do-si-do type of a binding method or journal making method, and you can see this Z or Z shape over here, and basically what it is, it's two journals, two spines. You see here spine number 1, spine number 2, signature number 1, signature number 2. The second concept comes from the card making world, and you can see that I'm not a card maker, but basically this is what we have here. It's an angled Z fold card or angled Z fold card, depends where you live and how you pronounce that letter. And basically what we are doing is merging these two concepts together, and we are making this simple trifold angled junk journal. This is a really simple, quick and easy project. We'll be making this one in the tutorial, so I don't want to show it completely, but basically this is what we have over here. It's so much fun to make and it's so quick and easy. Let's get started. And by the way, there's also a surprise visitor joining me in my filming session today. I am starting with a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper that I've actually trimmed down, so it's no longer 12 by 12. So I trimmed it down to the size, to the height that I approximately want. I didn't even sort of measure anything. But here we go. I trimmed it down to about 9 1/4. And that's going to be my height. So this is left at 12 inches and the height is 9 1/4. I'm so distracted right now because I have to show you something. Okay, I'm going to warn you to look away if you're not a fan of reptiles, but look at this. Oh, look at this. That's a blue-tongued lizard and he's right in front of my front door. And I keep looking at him and you might be able to see his blue tongue. See? Blue tongue. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. I didn't even know I like lizards. I left him a little bit of water. You can see there. He's been around for a few days and it's really interesting just watching him to see what he does. Or she. I don't know. I gave him a male name. The next thing I want to do is divide this into 3 equal sections and then score at those points. So because this is 12 by 12, I'm going to turn it around this way so you can see better. Because the length is 12 by 12, I need to divide into 3 equal sections. So I'm dividing it into 4s. So I'm going to mark here 4 inches and then I'm going to mark here 8 inches. There we go. And now I need to fold the paper at those points. So you can go ahead and fold it this way, or you can go ahead and score, which is what I'm going to do. Either way is absolutely fine. If you don't have a scoring board, you just hold it in place and fold at that spot that you marked. And here we go, we have those score lines, and now I'm going to make the folds. So that's my first one, that's my second one, and this is what we have, a little Z or Z happening. So there we have it, nice and easy and simple. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at a slant, at an angle. So basically you can choose and decide at this point. You're starting from the very top over here on your left hand side, and then you can decide here how much of a slant you want. You can do something like this. So you have this massive pocket. You can do something like this. So you have a tiny little pocket here. Just to demonstrate, this is what I'm talking about. So this is where you're deciding how tall you want this to be, how big, large, what tall. Tall was the right word. So, you know, totally up to you. I didn't measure, but let's have a look. This one here is 4 1/4 of an inch, something like that. I'm not going to measure again. I'm just going to eyeball it. Let's say here. I marked it at pretty much exactly the same as the other one. And now what I'm going to do is pop my ruler there at that top left-hand corner, and I'm going to make that slanted cut. So here we have it. My ruler's not large enough, so I'm just moving it down. And there we go. All right, so there says a little leftover. And look at this. You can use this for something else. Use it as a little pocket. You can sew here. You can glue those 3 sides down. And then you have, you know, this cool thing. All right. How easy! Doesn't get any easier than this. Check it out. So basically what we have here is this. This is the first stage of that Z card or Z fold or Z fold. And now you can go ahead and add little bits and pieces and decorate it and make it fun. You can do all sorts of things at this stage. What I'm going to do, for some reason it's calling to me, I'm going to open it up and take it to my sewing machine and sew just black straight stitch all around. I'll be right back. All right, here we have it. I did a little bit of sewing. I don't know. Did it make it better or a little bit worse? I really love it on the white. Kind of looks quite busy there. It's fine. The next thing I'm going to do is add some signatures in here and in here. So I'm going to bind my little booklets. Okay, just those two. I have chosen 6 tea-dyed pages, just standard your copy paper, and I'm going to fold them like this, height-wise, just like that. Here we go, and now I'm going to pop it into a signature. Of course, you can choose, you know, any number of pages you want, and also any type of pages you want. I'm just keeping it nice and simple, but you can do a true junk journal style and have all different types of paper, maps and book pages and all that sort of stuff. All right, here are my pages, and I think I'm going to start with the smaller one over here. So I'm just going to pop that right there to the top, all the way up. See? And then I'm going to mark where I need to trim off down here. Perfect. And now I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. This is actually a leftover. I'm going to make another little journal out of that. So that can go to the side. And now let's just double check. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do at this point is bind this into this spine over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim the excess off. All right, make sure that's all nice and where it's supposed to be. And I am going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I need 3 holes. There we go. In through the middle. Out through the middle, back in through the top hole, out through the bottom hole, pull this tight, and back in through the middle hole. And now I'm going to make sure everything is nice and tight and tie a double knot. And there we go. There's our first little signature bound into the book. It's kind of sitting open there in the middle, so I usually just work that in like so, just to do that a couple of times. At this point, I'm going to trim all of this off. I've got my metal ruler and I'm just going to follow the scrapbook paper over here and just trim all this. All right, these can make, I don't know if I'm going overboard, but they can make little corner pockets, kind of like what I did over here. See that corner pocket? And then I put a little butterfly there. I don't really know if I need this many pockets, but there we have it. All right, so that's trimmed down, you can see. And now we just have to trim this off. So I'm gonna do the same thing, or I might just mark where I need to trim that part and then do it this way. Excellent. All right, now we are going to repeat the process over here. I got another 6 pages and I chose to use 6 for no particular reason. I just went with 6 for whatever reason. You can do however many pages you want. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. Just fold them in half. And now I'm just popping the pages into a signature and get my little book. And here's my second spine. This is where I want to bind these pages. So again, I'm going to line it up with that point. So I don't want it too high. You could and then just trim the whole thing off. But anyway, I'm just lining it up with that point. Perfect. And now I'm going to mark over here how much I need to trim off. And off I go. All right, done. And here's another little booklet. And now we are repeating the same process. I'm going to pop this against that spine right there. and do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, exactly the same thing that we've just done before. Out through the middle hole, in through the top hole, back out through the bottom hole, and back in through the middle hole. Make it nice and tight and tie that knot and double knot. Perfect. Trim that off and then work it in, and that's what we have at this point. And now we're just going to do exactly the same thing. Trim all of that off. This time around it's going to be a little bit more difficult because this is kind of in the way. It's a little bit thick, but we will find a way. There we have it. And now keep these just in case you want to make a million little corner pockets. Perfect. See? And now again, I'm gonna mark where I want to trim this off. I kind of don't want it to be sticking out, obviously, so I'll just do it like this. There we have it. Is it sticking out? It's perfect. Do you see how easy that is? What a simple little concept. Look at that. We have all, that's all we did. And it's just a fun little thing. And now, of course, we're going to decorate it because that's what gives it most of its charm. I mean, this is quite fun as it is, but it's obviously needs extra work. So I think I'm going to do something like this. You see those tags that are sticking out and visible when the book is closed. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. So first of all, you know, this is perfect spot for a little pocket, and this is the page paper that I've chosen to use. But then again, I have this offcut, so I probably could, oh, this is perfect actually. This is what I'm going to use. So instead of keeping this, which is also pretty cool, I mean, this is already ready to go. So all right, so Lazarus outside. Lazarus is the reptile, the blue-tongued lizard, as I've shown you before. He's right in front of my door, and there's actually a nest, a bird's nest up in my roof, right above where Lazarus is. And the birds don't like him, so they're trying to attack him all the time, but not actually attack him, they're warning him. So if you hear crazy birds, which you probably can every now and again, that's why. They kind of fly above him and threaten him. So here is a little pocket I'm going to glue down, and it's not going to be visible when this is closed, which is just the way I like it. I'm not going to sew, but I am going to ink the edges. Lovely, and I'm going to glue that down, just the 3 sides. There we have it, pocket number 1. We can go mad and add a pocket here, and add a pocket here, and pocket here. You know, I love this project, love it, because there's just so many different little things that we can do. We can add a little closure all around. Anyway, one step at a time. I've got this piece left over. Should I? Yes, I should. Lovely, pocket there, that looks really cool. I love all of those angles. And now over here again, you know, we can just go ahead and do the same thing, but for now I'm just going to stick around with these, and I want to make some tags. I think that this scrapbook paper goes quite well. All right, so I've trimmed that down to size approximately, so I can kind of go in there. And then what I want to create here is perfect angles. So if you look at this, see the angle of this tag is the way where it's cut is exactly the same as this here and over here as well. It's just something you wouldn't even notice, you know, if you were to kind of look at this, you wouldn't probably notice that, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Just to demonstrate, if I used a different tag that was cut at a different angle, it just doesn't seem right. You see this here, how it's not at the same angle? I hope it makes sense. So what I do is I've popped this down into my pocket, and now I don't even remember how I did it. I'm just gonna trim it down to size. All right, something like this. It will make sense in a moment. I trimmed it down so that it's kind of about that height. I mean, I didn't measure anything, so just kind of eyeballed it so it's not all the way up there. And now I am going to align my ruler with this angle here, with this edge underneath, and just draw myself a little, you know, marking where I'm going to cut this off. And you know what, I'm actually going to go a little bit lower because I want the sewing to be shown through. So it will make sense in a moment. Let me just trim this off. And now I'm gonna use this corner and flip it around so that I have both of these corners on the same, you know, cut it exactly the same. Symmetrical is what I'm trying to say. So there we have it. So the tag is a little bit of a weird looking tag, you know, because it's cut at that weird slant, but looks good when it's actually inside this angled trifold little junk journal. All right, here we have it. That's what it looks like when it's inside the journal. And of course, I feel like I want to deflect away from this weirdness happening. So I'm going to pop a little tag top up the top. So I'm just checking to see if I want to use the same paper, you know, if I want them to be kind of like the same there, or maybe the heart can be the same as this. I say I'm gonna go with this one, but if I ink the edges, it will make it stand out a whole lot more, just like that. I really like that. Pop a little bit of glue just on the bottom of the heart, not on the top, so it doesn't glue onto the underneath. And here we go. That looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to do the same thing here at the back. Again, I want to create some type of a pocket here that's going to keep a tag in place. What have I got on my desk? I've got these left over from previous projects. I think it would work. Maybe I can make it into a fun element rather than just, yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. All right, so this is going to be like a flip down. It's going to flip down, and this is going to be a pocket. You hear that bird? It's trying to threaten Lazarus. All right, this is going to be the pocket where the tag is going to go into. So what I'm going to do over here is just glue the three sides down like this. Yeah, that bird outside is seeing Lazarus as a threat, which he probably is to the young, I suppose, but I don't think he's going to go climbing up the house and onto the roof. I really don't know that much about blue-tongued lizards. Do they do that? I'm not sure. But I'm happy for him to stay around here, and I'm happy for him to eat all the snails. Oh, I'm gonna move it down, all the way down. So I created a little, just a little extra element here. It's a flip down. We can go ahead and embellish that, but I just want to stick around to make the tag. And of course, I'm using the same paper as I did previously. It needs to fit into this pocket that I created, so I'm going to trim it down. And now I just need to cut off at the top here. So I want it to be a little bit lower than the middle of this slant. So I'm just going to eyeball it, you know, something like that. And cut that off. Here we go. And let's see. Yes, that's looking quite good. And now again, I want the same angle over here. Grab my ruler. So I just want the same angle. So I'm going to do that. And then cut that off. Excellent. And now I'm going to use this. Have to flip it around so that I get symmetrical little shoulders. I don't think that's the correct name, but that's the name I have just given those things. Tag shoulders. Perfect. Let's see actually if it's perfect. Sometimes when the pocket is a little bit too tight, I use a little something like this to make it a little bit more spacious in there so that the tags can kind of go in easier. There we have it. So perfect little angle over here. And now again, I want to use that as my tag topper. A little bit of glue. And now, of course, I mean, you can go crazy with embellishing this. Like maybe we could do something like this, you know, make it fun. I mean, where does it end? We can go ahead and embellish this. I'm gonna leave this for now because I want to see how it's looking so far. It's looking pretty good. And now I'm just thinking I want to embellish the front over here. I'm trying to use up all of the little things that I have. I think it looks really nice just using the two scrapbook paper rather than adding in others. Like I could go ahead and do something with this because they would also go, but I think it's quite nice to keep it elegant and simple. And now I have these two little pieces, and I'm thinking perhaps maybe I can make that into a double pocket to have here at the front, like so, why not? All right, and here we go. I have sewn around to make that into a little pocket, and now I can glue that and make it two pockets, a pocket here, a pocket here. On this one, this is a pocket. I just didn't put anything in there, and I just have some little hearts over here. This is all hand drawn, this faux stitching, because I could never get a perfect stitch around the heart. So you can see, you can do that with just a little black pen, do a pretend little stitch. And that's what I have on this one. Perhaps I can do a little bit something different on this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down first. So currently I'm not a huge fan on how this is looking. I feel like it needs something here to kind of get rid of these straight lines, kind of like what I did here with the hearts. See how it's breaking those straight lines. So I don't know if I want to go rummaging through my stuff to find something that's gonna go, and besides, that doesn't really look that good. I don't know if I did something perhaps like this, or I don't know. Obviously not. It's an option. That looks cute. That looks really cute. I might leave that there for now. Oh, he's looking at me. All right, don't look if you're afraid of reptiles. Look away. Look at him. Oh, hey there, little boy. What's up? Well, as I was saying, I like this here. So perhaps I can do something like a tag that goes in there, and that's the tag topper. So perhaps I can do something like this. Yeah. And that can go in there. I think I've found the perfect thing. So it's white and it goes with the white over here. Yep, I like that. I'll glue that down. Perfect. And that's gonna live in there. And now I want to do something over here. So perhaps maybe I can do some hearts again, like I did on the previous one. All right, so what I ended up doing is a little bit of a cop-out. Couldn't be bothered with cutting all the hearts and stuff, so I ended up just popping a little closure around it and tying a bow here at the front. I think it looks nice. Perhaps it needs to be shorter. I do quite like how this is looking. There's that bird again. And it's so simple and easy, as you've just seen. Look at that. I'm like, how cool is this? And you can make it as embellished and crazy as you want. You can embellish the pages. I don't want to open that because it's looking good with that little bow, but you can go ahead and embellish the pages. You can add pockets on pockets. You can have stuff here. You can have, obviously, fill up the pockets. You can do the back. I haven't done anything on the back, just left it as it is. But you can go ahead and do stuff on the back and just have so much fun with it. And another thing that you can do as well is continue. I just wonder, if I was to put them together, like what would happen if I did that? Let's see. I'll have to do that bow again. So let's say, for example, I forgot this pocket. So let's say, for example, if you make a few with the same measurements here at the front, like this one here, and you keep going and you make like a little accordion type of thing, you just keep going. All right, so you have something like this, and then let's say if you make 3, so let's pretend that this is my third one. Let's pretend there's one underneath already, and then with the third one you interlock it with this one, and then you have the front become the front again, because if you only had 2, the back is the back. The front. Oh my goodness, I'm confusing myself. I think you know what I mean. If you made 3, you can interlock them. So there's your 2 interlocked. All right. And then let's pretend this is a third one. And now I'm interlocking the third one over here, popping them together. And then I have this, and plus there would be another one. And then I have this crazy effect. It's a concept and an idea that could be taken to, in so many different ways and directions. And there we have it, a cute, simple little trifold angle card slash junk journal. I, of course, love it because it's so simple to make and quick, and it's different. It's quite different to the stuff that I've made in the past. And I just love how this concept or this idea can be interpreted in many different ways. Like, for example, this do-si-do type journal, it can be infinite. It can just keep going on and on and on and on. You don't only have to have two together. You can have as many as you want. So all of that from just one little simple fold. These two go so good together. You can do like a little pack. How cool is this? As a little gift or a little item in your shop or craft fair. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this tutorial? Did you make things like this before? Let me know what you think in general. I love reading your comments and I try to answer as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!